Hi, I'm SJ and this is my daughter Evelina. She is now 4 weeks, so just hopping on to give you Evelina's 4-week update and my 4-week postpartum update. Because you're a big girl now, aren't you? You are getting big. So Evelina was born on the 22nd of December. She was just a couple of days early. But my boys, because she's my third, I've got 2 boys already, have always been 2 weeks late. So for me, I feel like I've had a kind of extra bonus 2 weeks with you. She was so diddy. She was £8.1 and she came straight home from hospital this very same evening. She wasn't feeding very well at first. She's had tongue tie. I'm going to do a separate video all about tongue tie because if anyone's experienced it, you'll know it's just something that they're born with where their tongue is kind of... Oh, he's going to take your tongue out now and show us. Oh, she's super tired. She has not napped much today or last night. So we were syringe feeding for a couple of days, but I'm still 100% breastfeeding. I'm keeping going. It's been pretty hard. I have an oversupply of milk, which a lot of people haven't heard of, but it basically means your body produces too much milk and also is coupled with a kind of fast letdown. So it's really hard for her to feed. If you imagine like you're really, really thirsty and you go to like a water fountain and it just jets 8 gallons of water at you in like 2 seconds, you get really frustrated. You're still thirsty. You can't drink anything, so it is a bit like milk everywhere and not a drop to drink, so it's been really tough. It really has got me down, but yeah, I've done a whole separate vlog about how I'm coping with that and how to reduce your milk supply, because it's something I've had each single baby that I've had, so at least I was prepared for it this time. Doesn't make it much easier, but she's much gentler. She's a much gentler feeder than the boys. They were like, get on there and suck and tug and pull, and she's kind of like, you're a little nibbler, aren't you? You're probably going to have to feed you now, am I? Probably going to have to feed you. She was born with this kind of dark, wispy baby hair, which is so beautiful. Freddie was born totally bald and remained bald until he was 3. And Finn was born with this same dark hair, so it wasn't such a shock this time because me and my husband are both blonde. Finn's dark hair was a total shock. But then it all fell out and he is now blonde. So we're envisaging that happening to Evelina. She's getting on super duper well with her big brothers. There's been no problems with sibling jealousy or anything like that, which has been really, really lovely just to see them bond. Especially Finn, he's the 3-year-old. He takes a bit more interest. Freddie's 6 and he loves her to pieces and is more articulate about saying how much he loves her. But he's a bit less interested in sitting and cuddling her and doing all the kind of basics like the bath and the nappies that Finn is really, really interested in. Maybe because Freddie's seen it all before with Finn. He's sort of seen it all, hasn't he? But she's very calm. When she's with Freddie, she's super duper calm. He really calms her down. And when she's with Finn, they spend a lot of time on the floor together playing. So she has a lot of stimulation when she's awake, which is why she gets super tired. And I have been finding that she's been getting overtired in the evenings, so she cries a lot in the evenings, which again I didn't have with the boys. The boys used to cluster feed in the evenings. They would be literally on the boob from like 6 until 11 sometimes, whereas she uses that time just to cry. So it's been really hard. It's been hard to get a minute in the day really, because you're kind of busy with the boys all day. Before they even go to bed, she starts her sort of evening crying and fussy times. She doesn't want to feed. She wants to sleep, I guess, but we haven't really got a guaranteed way of getting her to sleep yet. So we haven't been doing anything. We're trying not to start habits. So we're trying not to put her in her buggy and take her for a walk or jiggle her around or things like that. So we don't get into kind of like we have to do those things to get her to sleep. We're just trying putting her down by herself, keeping it kind of the light dark and cutting out any stimulation if she's got a bit overstimulated. But you're a party girl, aren't you? You're a party girl like mummy. You don't want to ever close your eyes. And my oldest son was like that, so it does bring back a lot of memories having your third baby. You want to feed? You want to feed? Come on then, let's try and give her a feed. Just going to grab... This is her blanket that I bought before she was born, just from Mother Care, in a lovely lilac. I didn't know if I was having a boy or a girl. I thought it would be suitable for both. So I'm going to give her a feed. I didn't know how she would be, but I really wanted her to be in my video with you to update you. So as I said, she was £8.1 when she was born, and babies always drop a little bit of birth weight. She only dropped 1% of her birth weight, which I was so happy about, especially because we'd had the problems with having to syringe feed at the beginning. So I'd say about 70% of the time she latches quite well. 30% of the time she just does a kind of nibbly sucking. She's a bit lazy, just kind of wants the milk because it comes out so quickly. She knows she doesn't have to work too hard, so whenever she does, but this is a good latch. And she doesn't feed for long, she won't stay on there. There you go, so she is all fed. It took a little longer, and the camera died. The camera died, didn't it, while we were feeding you? She only had a little feed. So feeding's hit and miss. I'm still learning. I know that with me it takes about 3 months to get feeding established, and by established they kind of mean that the supply and demand is there, that the baby's latching well. And it is really hard to get out and about when, oh, well done. Bringing up the wind. Sometimes that comes with a little posseting as well, which is a little bit of sick. But no, not this time. Good girl. She's good at bringing up her wind. Yeah. It's a little bit hard to get out and about, but we have been getting out and about because of the boys. So every morning I have to get up and do the school run. So Freddie is 6, he goes to school around 9, and then Finn goes every morning to nursery for 3 hours, which he's been doing for a long time, and we're not going to stop that because it's brilliant for him and me. It means I know that he's done painting and run around with his mates, so if we have then a quiet rest of the day, that's nice. And while he's there, I don't rush around and do my jobs. I've just been coming home and resting. Because I do know that the afternoons are busy. I'd rather use the activity and my energy with the boys. I've just kind of been doing one day out, so one day picking Finn up and going out and doing something like the playground, and popping out for lunch and things with him, and then the next day we'll just come home. So just trying to stagger it so that I don't overwhelm myself, because I know that in the past the lesson I learnt from the other two was for these early days that I just tried to do too much too early. This time around it's taken me a little bit longer to recover. I don't know if that was because I did find the pregnancy a bit harder with Evelina, maybe because she's a girl, or just because I'm older and I've got 2 kids already and was working full time, was travelling with work. I was kind of felt that I needed to recover from that pregnancy after I had her, if that makes sense. So I've used a lot of this time just to rest and stay in bed and have extra lie-ins and really take care of myself and recover, because I had back-to-back labour. So my labour story is the video before this one, and I had 2nd degree tearing and stitches, and my stitches got infected. So after you have a baby, even though we came straight home, we're not discharged from the hospital's care until you're ready, so you have to go back in and have a few little tests. So she had to have a heel prick test, which came back all negative, and that tests for any kind of genetic diseases. They have a hearing test, which I haven't been for yet, which we need to do, and they also check you out as mum and check that you're recovering well. And my stitches got infected. It was real agony. I couldn't really sit up straight, so I just had some antibiotics, and then I gave her some probiotics for her tummy while I was doing that. We've also been seeing a cranial osteopath, so that's a really good idea if you've had any kind of colicky symptoms or any kind of difficult labour, particularly with a ventouse or anything like that that's used on their head. And it basically just helps release any tension they've been carrying. Look at this tired bubba. Look at this tired bubba. So she was carrying a lot of tension in her head and in her shoulders and actually in her pelvis. So you can see in the cranial osteopath, we've been twice. She loves it. She lies in the little bed and gets all looked after. So yeah, she's living the life of Riley, really. It's us mums who are the wrecks, isn't it? But I had a massage. I booked an urban massage to the house and had that because I just felt I needed it after labour. My shoulders, my legs, everything was aching. But overall, we're doing very well. I feel like taking this rest and relaxing as much as I have has just been the best idea. We haven't had tons and tons of guests. We've had a few come in, obviously special friends, and I've just been getting up in the morning and on the weekends, like today's the weekend, and I get up and have a nice long bath on my stomach and just rest, because my stomach and my breasts get really sore because you're up feeding. So in terms of sleep, at the beginning she was doing kind of feeding every 2 hours at least. I'm just feeding on demand, so whenever she's kind of asking for it. And then she started to do a lovely kind of maybe 3-4 hours at the beginning of the night, till around sort of 10 till around sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning, after being up crying all evening. Yeah, aren't you? After your little cry. So I get some sleep then, and then it's kind of every 2 to 1 hour after that. You're having to get up and give her a little feed, and then staying up to kind of wind her after that for a while, and then settle her back down. And she just sleeps in a side-by-side cot next to me. and give her a change in the night. Ooh! That was a bit of windy pops that just came out. She's super tired. Yeah, are you tired? We're going to get her to sleep. But yes, I think that's all of our 4-week update. Do ask me any questions in the comments below and I will answer them all in my next video. Oh, and she did her first smile today. We gave her a little bath because she had had an almighty nappy, and I was bathing her and my husband walked in and said, "Hello, Evelina," and she gave him a massive smile. Totally gutted. Oh, I can't believe he got that. It's always the way. But I think it was a real smile as well. Her whole face lit up when she saw Henrik. So that was nice for him. So yeah, hoping for some more firsts over the next few weeks. I hope this has been interesting. I'm going to be doing some more day in the lifestyle vlogs, updates on feeding and sleep and everything like that over the next couple of weeks on the channel with this little one and with the big boys. I hope you have a brilliant week, and congratulations if you're expecting a baby or have a baby, and goodbye from Evelina and I. If you've liked this video, do give it a thumbs up. Do ask me any questions about life with a newborn below, anything I've forgotten to cover, and hit subscribe just to follow me and Evelina. We're going to be doing loads of content this year and we can't wait, can we? Don't grow your hair long if you're having a baby.